You've mentioned to me already this season that you set yourself a target, shall we say, 50% ratio of clean sheets. That's not really happened, has it? And taken even more of a hand in with the unlucky run that you've been on.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, when I first come here about a year or so ago now, I sort of prided myself on the amount of clean sheets I got then, and it's been very disappointing. But I think as a team as well, you want them clean sheets because it gives you that sort of, you put that benchmark out there to people and say, look, we're not conceding goals, you're going to have to be the best of your game to break us down and score goals. And it gives people a glimmer of hope, so to speak. So from a personal point of view, I'd like a few more clean sheets to finish the season on a high as well.
You've been unlucky, but if you look at that game against Salisbury last weekend, a couple of great saves from yourself, especially when, shall we say, the result wasn't totally in the bag at 2-1. If they'd have scored, made it 2-2, it could have been a different game, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they was a decent team, to be fair. I was quite impressed with them, and it showed by the result they got in the week as well. But games sort of change on decisions and moments, to be honest with you. And there was that one save at 2-1, but at the other end, the lads have gone down the other end and scored a goal and killed them off at 3-1. So you could look at various points throughout the game. So I'm not going to sit here and blow my own trumpet and say I kept them in the game and got them the 3 points, because I'm sure the manager will say goalkeepers are paid to make saves, and that's it, to be honest with you.
Very understated there.
Nice one.
6 points of difference between you and that last playoff spot, with a game in hand on the side that currently hold that.
Yeah.
It's a good position to be in. If I'd have said to you, Alan, shall we say in July, August, that at this time of the year you'd have been in that position, would you have taken it?
Start of the season, I'd probably say no, to be honest with you. The team we've got, potential-wise, and the way we started the season, I think we should have been in the playoffs now, and I think we've sort of contributed a bit towards our own downfall a little bit, where we've been a bit sloppy away from home and fallen out of the playoffs. But I've said on the radio as well to other people, like, that it's sometimes nice to come out of nowhere, like, make a late charge for it, because by the time you get to the playoffs, you're full of confidence, you're going in and you feel indestructible. So it'd be nice just to stay there and creep in then at the last minute.
Is this team, do you think, looking at the makeup of it, looking at the mentality of the team, you see the boys day in, day out, are they a better chasing team than the team, shall we say, if you put them on a pedestal and people are trying to catch them? Which do you think the team are better at?
I mean, it comes with a bit of pressure, to be fair. Like, if you put yourself up there, people want to have a pop at you, and some people react different, to be honest with you. We play well at home, to be honest with you, and I don't know if that's down to home supporters or we just feel more comfortable at nice surroundings with nice stadium, nice pitch. I don't know. It's a weird one to put a finger on. But I think once we get our noses in front, everyone seems to get the ball down and play and relax and express themselves more. So I think if we can get into games and do that and get an early lead, then I think we can sort of capitalise on other teams, really.
An early lead was important last week against Salisbury. This week against Tamworth, again, it'd be nice to get an early lead and build from there. Yeah,
I mean, that's going to be a tough one, just as equally as tough as what York's going to be, because I'm sure it'll be quite fresh in their mind from playing them a couple of weeks ago, where our finishing was ever so clinical, to be honest with you. So I'm sure they're going to come here with a local derby and probably bring a few fans as well, and want to sort of turn the tables on us. So we've got to make sure we're not thinking about Tuesday before Saturday's done and dusted.
From your point of view, what dangers do Tamworth represent, especially being between the sticks? What do you make of that? Front options?
Yeah, no, I was quite impressed with them, to be fair. They look to play football the right way. They get it down, and the lads, I think it was Shaw that's been here before. He was a good player, and Iceland Christie as well has shown what handful he can be on his day up front on his own. So you've got to be wary of them, and they come here and beat us in the trophy as well. So they're a team not to be underestimated, but you've got to go and put teams like that to bed, really, if you have any aspirations of getting out of the league and into the playoffs as well.
We talked about the Tamworth game, but how important do you think that this York game, providing you get the right result against Tamworth, is? Because obviously they're one of the teams who you're looking to now catch, and they're perhaps not in the form that they were.
Yeah, I mean, I said to someone before, I was travelling with John Challoner when we was talking about the Luton game, and I think your priorities are not to get beat more than focus on getting the 3 points, because if you're getting beat, you're putting yourself out of the equation totally. So we stay tough and strong, which we have been at home. Then hopefully we can get the right result against them.
Yeah, so it's a case of if you lose, you're out of it. But
I wouldn't say we're out of it, to be honest with you, because we've still got a lot of the big teams to come to our own place, which like I said before, we've been not bad at home, and I think that could be a blessing in disguise, having the running that we have home game wise. But there's a few teams as well we owe games and owe good performances against them. York's definitely one of those from the way we played there. I think it's Boxing Day.
Luke, they're all big games at this time of the year, especially home games. We've had this chat, I think, last week as well about playing at home and about securing another 3 points. It's exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Obviously, on a nice little run at the minute, but we've got to focus on ourselves, concentrate on what we're doing, and I think at home we're looking pretty good at the minute. There's a bit of a confidence about the team, and I think if we do as we have been doing and play to our strengths at home with the tempo we can, I think on his day it would be too much for most teams.
Just spoken to Alan Marriott. He said to me that he's never known in his goalkeeping career an unlucky run of deflected goals like he's been, suffering this year. What would you make of that? Would that be a fair comment?
Well, I haven't seen obviously the whole season, but there has been a few unlucky goals since I've been here, and the two against Salisbury proved that. There were freak goals really. The first one kind of hit somebody and kind of looped in. Maz pulled off a great save, and then obviously it fell to the striker. And the second one, Maz has already dived and he's ready to catch it, and he's took it with awful deflection. But you just got to get on with it. But obviously the positives, we scored 4 goals and won the game comfortably.
It's part and parcel of being a defender, I imagine. You sometimes just have to accept the rough and the smooth.
Yeah, you can't always, it's nice to keep a clean sheet, but there's some good players in this league. You're not going to keep a clean sheet every single game, but there's nothing you can do about things that go against you, like own goals and bad decisions, what refs might make, or just things what you just got to get on with it.
Let's look at Tamworth this weekend. What are you expecting from them?
Well, we know what they're about. Even though we beat them at their place comfortably, that they're not a bad team. As we've seen, they beat Oxford and they went on a good run. Not on the best of run at the minute, but like we've seen on Tuesday night with some of the results, you can't underestimate anyone in this league. And we just got to concentrate on us really. If we do what we did against Salisbury and against Luton, then like I said last week, I think that I think we'll have enough.
Using the phrase "doing what you did against those two teams," by that I assume by getting out there, getting on the front foot and attacking teams.
Yeah, I thought that's what we did well. We won a lot of second balls. We got in people's faces, didn't let them play, didn't give them time, and then I think the tempo in the attacking half was too much. And to be fair, Luton did hold up to it quite well, but I think on another day that we would have got a couple of goals if things would have fallen for us a little bit more.
With Luke Jones out the side at the minute, the corners and long throw-ins that Mansfield possess, does it give you maybe a little bit more freedom to get in the 6-yard box of those set pieces and try and emulate Jonah and get on that score sheet? I believe he's the 4th top scorer in this club at the moment.
Yeah, that's crazy to think he's a defender and he's that high up on the scoring charts. But yeah, that's great. But sometimes it falls for you. I mean, he had 2 games where he got 2 goals and then 2 again.
You mean he was lucky?
Well, it was a little bit, but it couldn't have felt more perfect for him. But yeah, I think if we get in the right areas, we've got Charles and got Nico can put them ridiculous long throws in. It's dangerous for any teams, and if it's a good throw and it falls in red, we'll put teams under pressure and hopefully can score from that.
Now, you haven't been here all season, but I asked Alan Marriott a few moments ago if I'd have said to him in August that at this time of the year he'd been 6 points off the playoffs with a game in hand on the side sat in 5th, whether he'd have taken that. If you had have been here in August or when you arrived at this club, do you think that would have been justice for this club with the players that they've got to be in that position right now?
Well, you can only take it each game on merit, and the table doesn't lie. You deserve to be realistically where you are. You can't say you deserve to be any higher than you are. But I think with this squad, we've had a bit of unluckiness with the 6 points taken off. But I think realistically, this team's good enough to be at least in the playoffs. And I think if it wasn't for the 6 points, we'd be in there. And I think we'd near enough, definitely. I would imagine at the end of the season in the playoffs. But we've just got to keep winning games, and I'm sure we can still get in there.